Hi, my name is Bob Balser. I'm a filmmaker, director, animator, and a producer. And I've had a long career in animation. I started out in Los Angeles working in various studios. I was very lucky at a certain point to be able to travel to Europe. I traveled from the United States to Europe, and I traveled to Europe purely to have a new experience. And I went to Denmark and started to work on a film, and that was the start of my staying in Europe. Originally I'd planned to only be there for 6 months, and ended up staying there for 40 years. And so I became known to a lot of people in the business, and especially to a chap in England called Charlie Jenkins, who worked for TVC, the company that made the Yellow Submarine. And when they decided that they would make a film with the Beatles, and I was one of the people they invited to work on the film. And to do that preliminary work, 10 people that they had brought in were all animation people, so their whole concept of making design were to design characters for animation. And Heinz, not being an animation person, just designed characters. And so that gave us a complete new approach to making a film. And so just by sheer luck, the film fell into my hands, and I was able to direct the film. It was really being in the right place at the right time, and that's how I got to do the film. When I finished the Yellow Submarine, naturally it became a very, very popular film, and it was a tremendous introduction to a bigger world, and it was known all around the world that I had been directed Yellow Submarine. And everybody considered me, as crazy as it sounds, an expert in musical groups. And so when the Jackson 5 series was proposed, the first person they called was Bob Balser to come do the Jackson 5. When I came in, I really felt this pressure. I said, I don't know whether I can deliver. In terms of the influence of the Yellow Submarine on the Jackson 5, it didn't influence the character design, because that was done by Jack Davis. Those were set, those were animated characters, but all of the songs, not all of them, but a lot of the songs were influenced by Yellow Submarine, and the series became extremely popular, and we got very, very well accepted in the world. My work was all 2D animation, cell animation, hand-drawn animation, and the computers didn't come into real film production use until the very end of my career. And I remember the first time an artist would have to sit with a technician and have them tell him what he wanted, and then the technician would type in numbers. The next year they had shapes that all you had to do to push a button and you could put together shapes. The next year you could create a character and move it in 3 dimension, and it started to move really rapidly until really in today's world, I think computer graphics, CGI, has taken over, not completely, because there's still some wonderful independent films that are made by hand, but still everybody who is working in film is using computers. If somebody was going to start now, a young person in animation, the first thing is you really have got to know how to draw. Even with a computer, you have got to know how to draw and understand how things move. And really, it's education and schools. And I know that my life has been a wonderful experience of being able to work on marvelous productions. Great luck in terms of working on some of the iconic films and projects that have been in the last 50 years. I'm active in the nominating committees and student nominating committees for animated and films and short and feature animation. So the dream is just to continue the life that I have had, the life that I have, and the life that I hope to have.